Yo, what's going on, gang? Today we had Call of Duty Next. If you did not get a chance to see it, you've come to the right place. We're going to cover basically everything of importance that we saw throughout COD Next in this post. There were a lot of things we discussed yesterday leading up to COD Next that we saw today, and we also got to see our first look at Warzone. I don't want to beat around the bush too much here. Things that we already know, obviously we got the Omni movement coming, intelligent movement, which I haven't really talked about too much. Intelligent movement will automatically jump, hurdle, slide, dive, whatever for you. You don't ever have to press another button. You can just run. It does it all for you. So if you're like whining about movement too much, it'll do it for you. It's really for the bots. But the big thing we want to talk about today are going to be different things like attachments, gunsmith. The gunsmith looks fairly simple. It doesn't look overcomplicated. I didn't see anything about tuning certain attachments, which I think is awesome. I'm glad. It's just like pick an attachment and roll with it. There are a ton of different choices when it comes to attachments, but you only get 5. You get 5 attachments per gun. I think that's super fair. I like that they're sticking with the 5 attachments, considering like Vanguard, you had 10 attachments, something disgusting. Gunsmith cosmetics, right here. Camo, the place to begin an epic grind unlock weapon camo, including mastery camos for multiplayer zombies, and for the first time, a dedicated camo challenge to Warzone. That's something big that we've never had. We're going to get a mastery camo Warzone this year. It looks pretty decent. We'll see it here in just a second. Reticle, we got reticle customization, change colors, change looks, stuff like that. I'm a huge fan of that because, I prefer the blue dot over the red dot. Weapon accessories, it fixes a small charm. Obviously, you can have gun screens and charm, stuff like that. Stickers, large decals, all that's coming back. Here's a look at different mastery camos, or just different camos throughout. So we got gold and dark spine, column 1 right here. Gold and dark spine. Gold tiger right here, and King's Ransom, which would be right here. And then this one being called Afterlife. Here's some mastery camos for you right here. So we have Dark Matter. This is right here, column 1. This is going to be Dark Matter. It looks really good in my opinion. I think Dark Matter is always a classic. And one thing that's unique about Dark Matter this year, when you shoot the gun, these fiery flakes will light up inside the gun. I think it's super neat. For the zombies, we're going to have column 2. This is going to be called Nebula and Abyss. That's what these two are right here. And then Warzone Mastery camos are going to be here on the right. I guess Warzone's going to be Abyss. This is Nebula, this is Abyss. And I think it looks good as well. I think all 3 of these camos look great for mastery camos. That's something like last year, obviously, we had a couple different options for mastery camos. And one was ultimately way better than the other. I think this year they all look great. Nebula doesn't look too insane, but Dark Matter looks absolutely gorgeous. And I think Abyss looks really good too. So it's cool to see we're going to have some mastery camos within Warzone as well. Here's the example I was kind of talking about earlier. As you shoot the gun, you get these specks throughout your Dark Matter. I think that looks so cool. So it kind of displays it there. The gun kind of lights up as you shoot it. I think that's something super unique that they're going to be doing this year in terms of camo. So in terms of customizations and camo, stuff like that, it looks really, really solid. Some things I kind of want to address head on, kind of talking about Warzone, because they don't really have Warzone on this page. I don't know if they've actually dedicated a page to Warzone. We can actually go back here and see. Let's double check before I speak too soon. We will go to blogs. Here we go. Wait, no. Yeah, Black Ops 6. All right, this is multiplayer. Future of Warzone. Here we go. This is where the bread and butter really is. So this is the new map we saw today. This is Area 99. We've talked about it on the channel a little bit, but now we actually get to see it. This is the whole concept of this. This is how Nuketown originated. That's what Area 99 is. It's like the founding place of Nuketown. The map looks really cool in my opinion. I think it's super sick. You have the reactor, you can go inside, go underground, really cool. Obviously some test sites. The pods are these mid-century looking, you can see them kind of right down here bottom left. They're these futuristic living quarters that I think are super sick. But yeah, Area 99 looks like a lot of fun. It's a smaller map and it will host the same amount of people. So you'll have an opportunity to have some really hectic games. It's smaller than Rebirth Island, which in my personal preference, that's a massive W. Getting a smaller map just keeps the pace going further and further as we go. They're really just showcasing the map here, different POIs. And if you, any of this gameplay you can find online right now, but we're not really kind of talking about this. This is kind of what we want to talk about, the integrated innovations. So obviously we're getting like Omni movement, the Black Ops ordinance of all primary and secondary weapons. Coming to Black Ops 6 will also be available at launch of Season 1. Notice how they say coming to Black Ops 6 will also, the big word here, also be available. It was confirmed today that with the release of Warzone, we will still have access to Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2 guns. Me personally, I am very against that. I think that is something that they need to do away with, scrap it. Obviously, you know, we like to use the new guns, and when we start integrating older guns, it gets very, very hairy. Guns fall under the rug, guns we never touch. In my opinion, when you have these maps based on different like time zones and you're pulling out guns that have nothing to do with it, that just kind of throws me off a little bit. But in the same sense, I'm not in it for realism at all. Like, that's the last thing I care about with a Call of Duty title. It's supposed to be fast and arcadey, but it's just too many guns. It really is, in my opinion. It's way too many. You know, this is how we get problems like at the end of Warzone's life cycle, like in 2019 going into 2020, 2021. You know, we had Vanguard, Cold War, and Modern Warfare's guns, and no one was really a fan of that. I mean, we're all kind of ready for them to all disappear, but I mean, it is what it is. It's really frustrating to think like all three sets of guns are going to be apart when a lot of people didn't play last year or the year before. So, you know, when these metas pop back up and people who played obviously have them ready to go, when the devs mess something up because they want to focus on a gun that's 2 years old, you know, new players are going to be kind of screwed and be forced to try to level up these guns within Warzone because they obviously didn't buy that game. Definitely seem lazy in that aspect. Another thing I wanted to kind of talk about that I saw, other than like just how lame carry forward content actually is, that's so catered to the casual gamer. It's so frustrating how Call of Duty's losing its competitive edge. Loot is not floating in like the new Warzone, like what they showed today. Keep in mind, the only really new thing coming to Warzone's Omni movement. That's like new guns, new Omni movement. That's really it. The Warzone play kind of looked like a reskin of like what we've been playing for the past couple years. The buy stations didn't change, still overcomplicated. Still buy individual guns, which is absolutely chopped. Loadout prices, I'm sure, are going to be the same because they're not changing too much. It should just be a 10K flat rate. It seems like we finally have the advanced movement, but we still have over advanced things that should be simplicities, which are what made the game so successful in the first place. So we're still at that point right now. So maybe floating loot can come in. You know, maybe we can revert to a different UI for buy stations. And really make Warzone feel like a new game, because as of right now, other than Area 99 being the new map, the game doesn't have like this like trademark new feel right now for Warzone in particular. With that being said, multiplayer looks great. The maps, everything, the kill streaks, perks, multiplayer looks like a blast. Zombies looks incredible. But Warzone, the thing that took over Call of Duty, in my opinion, Warzone was the multiplayer killer. Is falling behind, and it's a little frustrating seeing Warzone kind of stay in the same pattern they've been in, knowing how far it's going downhill and how much of the community actually does not enjoy Warzone right now. With that being said, the new big map has not been announced. Avalon has not been officially announced by Treyarch, so we're falling behind on development on that. We will be getting Urzikstan as the first Warzone map for Black Ops 6, which is so crazy to think about. Like, that map is not a fan favorite. It's not appreciated. It just, they're falling short there. We will have Area 99, but we'll be on Urzikstan, and then in 2025 we'll have Verdansk. And I've preached this 100 times over. You know, people are like, bring Verdansk back, and Verdansk as a map can't save the game. Like, people think the map's gonna make the game feel like whole again. It's not the map, it's the way the game actually plays, it's the way it feels. How they've overcomplicated UI was definitely a killer for this game. I mean, you want to talk about catering a game to like the everyday average Joe? Don't overcomplicate it. Like, make the buy station one singular list. There shouldn't be that many options for us to look at on a buy station. But that's my overall impression from COD Next today and where we're at with Warzone. Here's some perks to look over. Obviously, we're gonna have the wild cards brought in as well. Lootable pick 3 perks, kind of neat. And then more challenges, stuff like that. Backpack. It says backpack 2 basics. No more backpack system, which I think super solid. That's a dub. See, like, that's something they picked up on. Oh, we don't like backpacks. That's an overcomplicated system. All right, we'll bring it back to how it was. Super solid. Awesome. Let's do it. That's big dub. Let's do that. You know, different types of satchels. That's unique. Cool. Bring it in. You know. Other than that, like, let's hone in on like the small details here, because we're on the cusp of having one of the best CODs ever in terms of like Warzone. Like, they could really smash this out of the park and make Warzone better than it's ever been. Just some micro changes need to be had to really make the game itself like unique, and it's obviously not going to feel unique if we're kind of holding on to the core values that absolutely obliterated Warzone in the first place. So multiplayer zombies, kudos, looks incredible. I'm super excited. I'm so excited for Friday to play out. God, I'm so excited. But for Warzone, I'm nervous. I know it's alpha gameplay today, but if they hang on to what we have right now, if they don't make some major changes right now, Warzone might be rough again, and we'll find out. But anyways, gang, that's my spiel for today. I got a lot more content I want to cover in the next couple days. We'll cover more beta stuff tomorrow. We got a lot of info for beta. Hope you all enjoyed COD Next. Go watch gameplay. Let me know in the comments what you thought about Warzone in particular today. Give me your feedback, obviously, zombies and multiplayer if you'd like. But there's not much to say. They smashed that out of the park. Warzone being the focus, man. Let me know what you think. Hit the sub, crush the like, catch more from the heater. Let's get it, game.